He clocked in for his shift like he always did. No special assignment, no emergency, no warning that this day would be different. The nuclear power plant was operating normally. Control room logs showed stable readings. Radiation levels were within permitted limits. Security systems recorded routine movement through authorized areas. At 10:42 a.m., a maintenance technician entered a restricted auxiliary section of the facility. That was the last confirmed record of him ever being seen. He was an experienced worker, trained for controlled environments. His task was routine, inspection work inside a non-reactor service area connected to cooling and waste handling infrastructure. These zones are not part of the reactor core, but they are among the most complex and isolated spaces inside a nuclear facility. He passed through an access checkpoint using his authorization badge. The system logged the entry. There was no corresponding exit. At first, no one noticed. Inside nuclear plants, workers often operate alone for short periods. Radio check-ins are scheduled, but delays are common. A missed call does not immediately raise alarms. When his next scheduled report failed to come in, supervisors assumed a technical issue. Another delay. Nothing unusual. An hour passed, then two. By the time concern set in, the environment itself had already complicated the situation. Search teams were assembled, but access to the area he entered was limited. Certain zones could not be entered freely due to radiation exposure rules. Protective equipment had to be prepared. Movement was slow. Every step required authorization. Security logs were reviewed again and again. The records confirmed only one thing with certainty. He had gone in. No internal cameras existed in that section. Many containment and service corridors inside nuclear facilities are intentionally unmonitored. Surveillance is limited by design, both for safety and security reasons. Teams searched accessible areas first: maintenance tunnels, service corridors, equipment platforms. Nothing. As the hours turned into days, the investigation narrowed to a single, unsettling conclusion. Whatever happened occurred beyond direct observation, in an environment that could not easily be searched. Certain systems inside the plant continued operating automatically. Cooling cycles ran. Waste handling processes moved forward. Shielded chambers remained sealed. Nothing stopped for the missing worker. Radiation exposure limits restricted how long search teams could remain in some areas. In others, entry was not possible at all without shutting down systems, an option that carried its own risks and was not immediately authorized. Eventually, parts of the facility were sealed off again. No personal equipment was recovered. No confirmed exposure event was recorded. No remains were found. The official language in the final report was careful. Final movements could not be conclusively determined. Recovery was not possible within environmental constraints. The incident remains unresolved. What that meant, in plain terms, was this: the worker entered a section of the nuclear plant and was never definitively traced beyond that point. There was no dramatic failure, no explosion, no public emergency. The plant continued to operate. Over time, sections of the facility were modified. Some areas were permanently decommissioned. Others were sealed for safety reasons. Any chance of reconstructing his final moments disappeared with them. To this day, there is no complete account of what happened after he passed through that access point. No confirmed cause, no location, no recovery. Nuclear safety experts are clear about one thing: this was not a supernatural disappearance. It was a consequence of scale, isolation, and automation. Inside nuclear infrastructure, Systems are designed to function independently of human presence. Once processes begin, they do not stop for a single person. And when someone moves beyond the boundaries of observation, the system does not notice their absence. Modern safety rules exist because of incidents like this: improved tracking, mandatory pairing, stricter access timing, continuous communication requirements. These rules are written after names are removed from shift schedules. From the outside, nuclear power plants represent control and precision. Inside, they are silent environments where certainty can vanish, and where, in rare cases, a worker can disappear without leaving answers behind.